Any glasses? No. Okay.
And I also like to do it in bed at night.
Yes, that's genius. You're ending the day in such a truly, solidly beneficial way. And I really think that's one of the reasons so many people are so exhausted is because they don't clear the energy they're taking on. They don't clear their own, remember I was saying after I came back from Eugene, everybody's like, I can't tell what's mine and what's everybody else's. There was no fucking doubt what was, what, like I said, was transmuting through my body that was yours, and what was mine. And it's taken me years to get there, because I didn't even know how to feel my own damn body back in 2018. So I'm pretty pumped to be like, I really do know what's mine and what someone else's now. Like, and just because it's almost impossible for others to believe that I might be accurate, usually because they don't recognize it within themselves, that I just basically need to keep my mouth shut. But at least I know what's mine and what's not. And I know how to clear them, and you actually going to clear them differently too.
So, and even if it's a positive thing, like, it's good.
It's not just shadow that we're trying to clear out of our bodies. It's just maintenance. Right. But the conventional world doesn't do that. Everybody wonders why I feel like shit. Because you're never clearing energy, especially if you're not exercising at all. But as you will very quickly find, 15-20 minutes a day of a gentle walk, you feel fucking fantastic after a week. 2 weeks, you're like, man, I don't have the world. It's easy to notice the gains at that point.
Yeah.
Oh man, there was just almost a really serious accident right there.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. We have entered the land of sunlight, and we're just gonna walk in a fucking sunbeam. I'm willing to bet you will pretty much only feel like shit when you're in the basement. In the dark.
I try to keep that lamp on.
We need to go back and get in on that. The only reason I would get, we need to get out, even if it's not me. Because you are so, you go a lot less, you don't go as deep into the dark when you get out of there a couple times a week at least.
Right.
There's nothing against your kids at all. It's just fucking basement. And everybody's in their shadow work. You need a break from it. Unless you come to the field of infinite possibilities, and I remind you that all this shit is worth it, and you find stuff like the pineal gland clearing thing, and when you're practice, and money is coming our way, and so hopefully you can afford to get your oh, even my remember I was having all those problems with my credit score? It went up like 12 points in the past week. So at least one of the creditors like took off the like bad mark. But the other one, Amazon is the only one who told the credit industry, the credit reports that I had was a late pay. And all I have to do is prove it. Talk to customer service. I just have to call customer service. Because they just sent me a form letter. You bounced a $250 payment. I'm like, yeah, I did. That's why I sent you this mail that says, this is why that bounced. It was the bank's fault, not mine. But AI probably read mine. So anyway, it's fixable is what I'm getting at. And that's another way that abundance is showing up for me, because I've been so stressed about not being able to transfer my credit cards back to another 0%.
Whereas there was absolutely no reason whatsoever I would be declined a few months ago, just because of this credit thing, and several of them are coming up, so I'm like in a time crunch. And that's what's been stressing me out, is hundreds of dollars of interest coming due just because of some fucking snafu. You know, my plan was perfectly well planned. Like, I'll just get another 0%, get another 15 months. I'm sure I'll be able to, you know, everything will be going hot by then, and it'll be fine. I just have to keep it at 0%. No big. Fucking bureaucracy. That's another abundance. It's already working out.
Yeah.
The effort I put in, there's fruition now.
Yeah.
So, and the skids are, you know, everything's like aligning so that, you know, just because we haven't gotten a lot of calls yet doesn't mean that there aren't people who have already thought of it. And it's just, especially once we have just a couple volunteers who are willing to do a few posts for us a week, like, that will open it up, because people will be able to find our, they're like, who is it? There was somebody, I don't remember who it is, you know. So they need to see us more, and I just can't do it effectively by myself, so we need helpers. But that's what I've done over the past few weeks, is I've really figured out exactly, specifically, what would I tell somebody who wants to volunteer. They're like, I have an hour a week. I'm like, okay, perfect. I have the perfect thing for you to do for an hour a week, and it'll be easy to teach you. So that's what I've been working on. And now that I have a computer that's reasonable, now I also can specifically be like, okay, this is how much time roughly you'll want to set aside to do this task. Because I've tested it. It's going to take you 15 to 40 minutes, depending on your attention span. So that because most of the time, it's going to take hours. Maybe if you don't have any sense of what you're doing, but here, let me show you.
Do you have 40 minutes you could donate to us?
Right. Yeah. So you're saying make that the request. Yeah. 40 minutes you can donate to us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great. See. Thank you. You're helping me find
Everybody has 40 minutes in their day that they could help out.
And you know what it'll be? And really this is a series of posts that I've been planning. Where it's like a single action. Here's one action you could take that would help us an incredible amount. One of them is open up, here's a playlist, let the whole thing play in the background. Don't even fucking listen if you don't want to, just let it play, because that will get some attention. Next step, you want to go through and like them all? Awesome, thank you. You want to go through and put a comment? Awesome, even better. And subscribe. Like literally, and so like by giving a concrete reason, like effect, what'll happen, you do this is what will happen for us. And when somebody saves me 15 minutes of administrative effort, it's probably basically something that would take them 10 to 15 minutes max would probably take me much longer, just because I get distracted or I'm annoyed of having to do this thing that is so simple that somebody else could be doing it, and I'm like, I have to give this attention when I should be doing this, you know. So
You gotta stop that.
I know. Stop which? Just like not having help, or?
No, I mean, yeah, stop the angst that you feel.
Yeah. Well,
You know,
vice
because
versa, honey.
because you know, just you gotta go with the flow.
Yeah, we both do. Yeah, and we are. You see, we're so good at it sometimes.
We're so good at going with the flow sometimes, but then we both, and when we fall in the hole, we both have deep holes.
Yeah, that's true.
And granted, though, I'm so grateful. My hole is nowhere near as deep as it once was, and obviously, you know, my hole's not as deep. My dark hole that I fall into. So I guess I'm saying that to reassure you that if you can tell that I'm going through some sort of patch, or I'm feeling that angst or whatever, it's not as long lasting as it used to be, and it's not as dark and painful as it used to be. So, yeah, I feel I have more capacity and window of tolerance to be of support to you, because I'm not in that space that's really difficult to be in, especially alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so
no,
I have
you're
it to
not.
give.
And you can remember that you have all the resources of the universe available to you.
Right. That's why I like to talk about it.
You know,
Because I'm right.
just
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it. You know.
I'm not worried anymore. But I also hope you don't have any more sleepless nights or crying days, I mean, if you're clearing it, you're clearing it. But if it's the, angst and fear of, should I even bother sticking around because I can't afford to buy these things that help me? We're both giving a lot to the world, and I don't know, we just gotta teach people how to send thank you notes and be appreciative, like show appreciation, and it's like just basic.
Jaime Laciel,
Yeah,
he's been giving me $100 a month.
He's a perfect example.
And so I said, I owe you some cards. What kind would you like? And he said, oh, just a variety of cards. We're going out of town and we're going to send our mother cards.
Perfect. This is the most beautiful story.
Yeah.
Perfect. So this is clear money. You don't know him. I think he's from our dance community, and he just randomly sent you $100 once, and you did send him some cards. And then since then, a month he sent you $100 a month. See, that's the way it should be. Because really, what do you need? You need like 10 people willing to do that, and you're like fucking skyline. That's it. 10 people who are willing to, like, you know what, Jeanette, you are so fucking awesome. I am willing to invest $100 a month in making sure that you feel good.
That's true.
And then
this time he sent it, and then he said, "How are the acupuncture appointments going?"
Yeah, we're giving people like, this is how it is now.
Yeah.
We need to do that. But to him specifically, it's tell the people that have been generous, because they want to know how it's going. How did my gift help?
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
I really have a lot of love for that man. I don't even know him.
You haven't met him yet? I love that he has the word love in his name.
I love the sky. I love the sky too.
Ooh, I made us some lemon balm water. It was boiling, so it's still gonna be warm when I. Ooh, do you want me to just pour some of the real hot stuff in your cup? I'm trying to make sure I drink at least a quart of something particularly beneficial like this, like nettle tea or this lemon balm or yeah, lemon water. I'm getting a lot better about it. Make sure this thing's so we're good. Yeah. And we're in the magic time flow too, because almost no time is passing at all. But I feel like we've entered the flow. I just love so much about that chakra bouncing. But I love that you're like, oh no, that jazz. Like, that's awesome. I don't remember what you said. A couple things like that. And I'm like, yes. So many people take it so fucking seriously, and you're just like, yeah, and you don't have to know the right words. If you want to know the right names, cool. But you're like the third one, and you showing where it is, and the size of the heart chakra. No one ever had said that, or have I read that. And I really have tried to learn about the chakras. I've taken classes, I've read books, I've asked questions, I've listened. So I've made a concerted effort, and it's been hard. It's been hard to learn. So I'm glad you're.
Well, I'm glad it's easier to learn because, and I have a lot of past students who have taken that chakra balancing class, and they've all said, it's life changing. Just because we get together for 9 weeks, and every time we get together we do that chakra balancing exercise.
Dude, we're scheduling it. What day next week you want to start?
Yeah.
You know what? There's nothing stopping us from doing it.
Right.
we have everything we need in order for you to start
Okay.
offering it. Maybe every other week to start with, if you want,
Yeah.
just till you get back in the flow.
As long as you're gonna
Yeah,
do the
yes.
texting.
Yes. You can always feel rest assured. I don't expect you to do any of the tech shit, unless you choose to. But no, I want that part to be simple for you as well.
Still just doesn't.
I love that you said, okay. This is kind of a cartoon sometimes, but it's a cartoon with danger.
They got a fucking stop sign.
Yeah. And yeah, these
But
guys were
it's-
coming fast.
Yeah. it's
They were
hard to
going
see.
faster than they should have, and there's really not great visibility. So there's just, anyway. Those bushes are kind of dangerous. So one of the reasons I was so excited to watch a lot of our older stuff is because the arc of our conversations has perfectly matched our experience. And so, like, we started, and I'm not gonna be able to verbalize that right now, just but like there was a lot of root chakra stuff that we did at George's house. I don't know if you even recall like what the focus was, but it was root chakra at George's house. And you put kind of in the same way that you did the crown chakra, and you just like really clearly said like this is what would happen, or what happens with an open crown chakra, the resources and whatever. But you did the same thing but for the root. And I made a bunch of shorts out of it, so it's really great. There's little moments, like a minute at a time or whatever, that's like impactful enough all by itself.
Oh, neat.
But then there's like the full 10-minute version. But what you're saying is the foundation we needed at the time, right? To set up the foundation for what we've already built and what's now coming fully to fruition. And we also talked about how unity practice could very well help your body heal. So we've got all of that stuff, and just need to like whatever. And then now there's been a bunch in the middle, and some of it you're like literally, you look like you're dying on my couch, and you're like, you might like something. You remember that one? Yeah. And so I mean, just imagine. Okay, so we have that, and we have the return to Gaia meditation. Or you really were thinking when it says return to Gaia, I will be underground within days, and I'm like, man, you're returning to the Gaia, like love and light, and you're with us. You don't have to leave us to go to love and light. You're just like, and you're one of the leaders of showing the way. Most of the folks I know who talk about any of the stuff you talk about are too young to be a true leader in it. We need wiseness. We need experience, and anyway, you're perfect. You're perfectly suited, and what we've made so far is perfectly positioned to really, like, the vision I've been painting for you is coming to fruition, and we have the foundation there for us. So
I feel that they're moving along.
for sure.
I'll be happy when my website gets up. And I don't exactly
Getting you started though, right?
Yeah, it's getting
You'll
started.
figure out ways to make it better for sure. Yeah, it's just a start. Okay, so how about let's simplify this a little bit. So how about, instead of like jumping right to class, how about I already have the like basic setup for, I was calling it co-working, we just call it something else, but where you and I are gonna get on Zoom. If people want to come listen, they can. And we'll do, real brief, we'll do 3 deep breaths, real brief check-in just to land, or whatever order you want to do it in. We'll do the chakra balancing. And then we could do a quick round, like what you up to today, what are you working on, and then we come back together an hour and a half later or something, and whatever. And then when it's the right time, you do whatever it is that you do to close your
close the circle. So it's a work circle. So instead of it being like, oh, let's talk about our feelings, we can do that, but we're gonna be. It's more in the context of very little time goes to that. Mostly we're just, parallel play, doing our work and supporting each other in it because it's impossible to self-motivate over and over and over again for extreme lengths of time. But how fast we move when it's just like, oh, someone's paying attention, someone's listening to me. I have to figure out how to say it so that someone else can understand. Like even just that, you know?
Well, and it's quantum physics.
Is it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Because what you give your attention to, you cause it to grow. You appreciate it.
Oh, I love it. Another level of the word appreciate.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying now. I did not realize that with quantum mechanics.
Yes, absolutely. That's quantum physics.
Physics.
Whatever you put your attention on, that's what.
I am a fucking kick-ass quantum physicist, and let me tell you.
You are. You are.
I just didn't realize that I hadn't understood what quantum physics was because I think I was trying to understand it from the scientific perspective, but you just gave me concrete, practical.
From observation, the quantum.
Guess what's coming? Yes, she's so excited.
Yummy.
Yes. Thank you. Oh my
It's
God,
very
Robert, that's so
rich.
pretty.
A lot of butter and it's creamy stuff.
Oh my God. And I know how good it is because I made that recipe recently.
Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
God, look at that.
Look at this
Oh my God. It really is so fucking good. Okay, I'll take you off camera now. Yeah, okay, I finally got you here. This is where I've been trying to get you ever since. I'm like, hey man, you know what? We're gonna be friends and you're coming over. Well, actually before that, I've been anticipating and planning this since, I think since, I don't know when it started. It was before the basement cuddle. You didn't have any hair. It was when I brought you the bone broth and the blanket. That's when it started. That's when it started. I didn't know what it looked like yet, but I knew quite a while ago. Yeah.
I kind of remember that, but
You were fucking
I was
sick. So sick. And then I think it was in one, I think we came twice. I don't remember for sure. Yeah, we came over twice. And one of the times, the second time, you were like, I have to give up Sophie. And that was your cat's name, right?
Yeah.
And I'm kicking the fucking chemo to the curb. I'm done with this shit. I found something else. Like, I don't know what it was at the time, but, and yeah, super supportive. And it seemed like it was noticeable that it was a good decision pretty quickly after going off, right? And how quickly did your hair grow back?
Maybe 6 months to a year. Yeah, it was a year that I started gauging my comeback. So when I say I'm 37%, that's before chemo.
Oh, okay. So you were at 37% before chemo?
No, I'm at 37% now but compared to the energy that I had before chemo.
Okay. Wow.
And so.
And do you think that's primarily because of the damage caused by the chemo?
Absolutely.
And all the fucking stress. You've been under so much stress. And living in a basement is not the place to heal. So, yeah, you're getting the fuck out of there. Well, you are. You're getting paid to go live in beautiful places, and you're even gonna have tax write-offs.
Yeah.
Yep. You're living the tax write-off life now.
Okay.
Yep. Eventually we'll be busy enough with, or, we'll have this, however much house sitting you want so that you don't actually even need a place to live. Because what I can imagine being is like, you specialize in long sits so that you don't have to move a lot.
And in between, my hope is that we're going to have a room here that is rarely rented. That's what I'm kind of hoping, because it wouldn't take that much to make that possible. And so then the in between times here, you know, I know that Troy could benefit from that. I know Corinne could, like, just a place you can go for a few weeks or a month or what, you know,
In between.
in
That's
between, yeah. And then we get you, if you want to do, you know, trusted house sitters so that you pretty much always have a place and you're just not always getting paid, you know, then that's an option too. But I don't think it should be difficult at all to get you paid to live in great places as much as you want. Like, that really isn't going to be a problem at all. It's just, we need the marketing help is what we really need. We need an administrative assistant. Hey, you know what? When Sophia and I we're getting kind of to this point, but dude, that was a good training wheels. But anyway, so she and I were at this really high point. We had obviously been doing our stuff for a while. People were noticing. We were already confident. And Devin Wright, do you know her? Really gorgeous gal, real skinny. Yeah, always dresses beautiful, flowy Aphrodite dress, whatever. Anyway, she comes to us. She's like, I want to volunteer to work with you guys. I want to be your admin. And we're like, really? What? And then she like worked really hard with us for over a year. It must have been around a year because we broke up. But yeah, it was awesome. And she did it because this is exactly why I think people will, because they see the value. So she did it so that she could learn what we know, but learn what we know while directly supporting us and building her visibility. And by the end of the time she was doing her own like Radical Pleasures video. I think she led some circles. She did a bunch of stuff, but it started with, I don't really know how I can help, but I want to. How can I help? Can I do marketing? Can I do admin stuff? And so we just taught her. I mean, mostly I taught her since, you know, I'm the one who knows how to teach admin stuff. And she did a bunch of stuff for Sophia specifically, and that is what really.
Somebody like that.
Yeah, we need a Devin to volunteer. So yeah, that's it. I mean, and that's partly why I'm so confident it can happen, because it's already happened. And yeah, and it was so. I got so many good stories to tell. And I met her at Solsara too. Like almost everybody that's really. Just most everybody that's really important to
must
me
have
came
been
from
really
that.
something.
It came back. It's just starting again. It was really something, because that's where I met. So that's where I met Devin. That's where I met Shane Berry. That's where I met Sophia. I mean, that's really where I met so many, like everybody. I met you through that. Well, no, or I met you through Brian. I don't know, but I met Brian through Sophia. So yeah, Solsara, it was everything, and almost everybody that was at my very first retreat, we kept, like a whole bunch of us just kept coming back, and we would cross paths in that way, and eventually, you know, after I think the second one I was an assistant. I think I only went as a person, you know, as like a participant once. But so we got to know each other in that way too. A lot of us assisted or just saw each other at the things a lot, and so we did all this really deep work together. Mm-hmm. And now, like, all of them are doing amazing shit. Like Shane has published an album. She did that a couple years ago. She did that intentional dating thing really regularly for years. She met Esther Perel because of that. Now, I mean, then she's doing this group work now. I mean,
I'm listening.
Amazing. So that's Shane. Sage Liskey has written 2 books, and one of them is about trauma healing. It's super fucking good. The other one is You Are a Great and Powerful Wizard was his first one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'll get it out. I've got them both in there.
Wow.
Michael, he and I were very similar in a lot of ways. Like there's a night of cuddling at Solsara, and it was my first time and seeing it, and him too, and we're both like, like how about we can be next to each other on the edge, and so we like
Okay, that sounds good because we're yeah. And now he is one of the Solsara leaders, and his whole life had been kind of centered around that. His partner came from that. Well, I mean, like everybody. Ooh, David Sudar, was in his prior life before Solsara was a monk, I think he had stopped doing that for some reason, and he came to Solsara, and like not that long later, he was like, okay, I'm back to it. I'm doing my, Buddhist monk stuff, and one of the things I love so much about him is this whole time he's been writing about the practice of dana, which is how the Buddhist tradition works, where the teachers are taken care of by the community. That's how the monks get by and get all their needs met, is the community takes care of them, and gifts are it's given from a place of generosity. Like, yes, if you give money, you give generously, more in relation to like what you receive from it, instead of like what's your price, and then trying to get as low a price as possible. But his writing on it has improved so much, and he's gotten to this point now where it's exactly what I had always wanted, was how can I translate this concept into something a conventional American is going to understand, and he's done it. And so he's somebody else that I met, so I'm yes, he and I will definitely be doing some sort of collaboration at some point. There's just so many others, like they're just really never mind. It's huge. Like it is. Solsara is so fucking powerful, and I'm so happy that they're back. And I think that what I've read so far is that they're planning on just doing essentially the same model, which is great, because it was one of the things we liked was the consistency. Basically what was going to happen on each day, and you just kind of let the specifics go, but you get a sense, and that makes you. Then you know what to look forward to, and you're like, oh man, that's the platform practice. I just hate that one, or whatever.
Is it a weekend or
3 days?
3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I loved it because 3 days, I'm fucking exhausted by that third day. Everybody is. And so any more than that would be nuts. The only thing I hope they do, and maybe I'll even send this suggestion, is that they say take Monday off for integration. Do not go to work the day after a retreat. So it's good because that's one issue I had with them, is they never talked about integration, and they never talked about what to do after you go home. They never said you might get horribly depressed right after this, because not only did you just like feel all these great feelings, but you also cleared a bunch of shit, and you're gonna go home and go, fuck, that's how I want to live my life, and it is nowhere. How the hell can I feel that? So you might get. They never said that. And so anyway. It was very powerful and transformational. Yeah. So I'm excited they're back. I'm excited to talk about it. I don't intend to go. I don't want to do that kind of group work these days. No, I do. I want to do that kind of group work, but not in that setting. I want to do it here. I want to have like the place where people come and practice, who they already have done it though. Like I would require you to at least attend in Solsara 3 times, or you can demonstrate in some other way that you're deeply practiced at what we'll be doing here. There's true, honest, radical, vulnerable, transparent communication, and allowing your full self to arrive, even if you're messy or whatever. We can practice here without paywalls and commodification of that experience, which is the only way anyone can access it right now, is through it being a commodity and a controlled environment. We have to worry about all this risk, and like there's just a lot that goes into here will be people that they're vetted basically before they can come, and that's my plan.
Cool.
Oh, I don't think I told you Brian's idea. Did I tell you Brian's idea about for you? Basically Dharma talks, where we invite people and you come talk about whatever the fuck you want to talk about,
and just get in your flow and do your thing, but with a small audience of our friends.
Okay.
And fundraiser. It can be a fundraiser.
Okay.
But we won't, that's not the focus. It'll be you doing your Dharma talk.
Can it be like on a Saturday or a Sunday?
It can be what works for you, absolutely scheduled around your
Well, just so
availability.
that, so that I can do it during the day instead of at night.
Totally. Yep. Perfect. Let's get it scheduled. We're not leaving until it's on.
Okay.
I was excited about that.
So the first one's going to be chakra balancing. I am so
Yeah.
turned on by this idea right now.
Hell yeah, because you'll be able to see the effect so quickly.
Yeah.
You're gonna turn everybody on.
Yeah.
Let's get turned on, but not sexual. We can reclaim all those words.
Yeah.
We're never gonna, well, no. We're almost never gonna be talking about sex. We might talk about
Well,
orgasm or
I
creation.
think I did say orgasm,
You
didn't
did.
I?
Yes,
I mean,
and I'm glad you did.
It is. It's like a spiritual orgasm. You can feel where the spark hits the whatever.
Yeah. No, it's very important that people realize that energy practices, you know, the things. It's not just tantra. It's not this mystical thing you need to be taught. It's like, no, sex is this much
Yeah.
of what's available. Creation and co-creation is one way of, having this similar thing. Just not right last time had sex. We're co-creating.
Yeah. And
Having,
well, unity practice for me is very orgasmic. It's just. I enjoy that.
At some point, it would be, I think, helpful if you're able to put any words to what that sort of orgasm feels like, because people are going to get so blocked by the idea of it's a genital, source of orgasm.
So, well, I think for me, the best thing about orgasm was that it took the conscious mind and just threw it out the window.
Okay.
And it was just
You're really in the flow.
surrendering to that flow.
Okay. Nice.
And
Okay.
I mean, just like any more orgasm, it usually doesn't last very long. But the afterglow is sure nice, and so I'm still sitting in the afterglow of what we experienced.
And you feel closer to the person that you experienced it with, or
right.
by yourself. Like,
Right.
it doesn't have to be a team thing, but yeah, you feel great for a while. I mean, that's why people have sex, also for stress release, or
Yeah.
But that's not the only way
Right.
to clear that or to have that stress release or whatever. And that's not the only way to have a whole lot of fucking fun. And you'll
A lot
be
of fucking
healthier, way healthier if you move that energy way more than just one way.
fun. Right.
But it's also movement.
But
It's also drinking lots of water.
if you're a single person and you don't have the opportunity to have sex, and at this point in my life, I'm really not interested in having sex. I haven't felt any libido for years and years and years, and the thought of somebody putting his dick in me is just not that appealing.
And so thank goodness there's way more than intercourse or
Yeah.
sex. I mean,
Right.
there's a big difference between intercourse being the one way of sex, and then there's, anyway, but
I mean,
I do believe that there's a very real possibility that based on the clearing that you're doing, you'll have the opportunity, because you experienced both, to kind of like light the way to like, look, this is what I mean when I say you can have these other kinds of orgasms, because women in particular, well, no, everybody, people need to be able to reclaim their sexuality as one big thing, but one of the ways to is just expand the definition of what they believe.
oh, I can't have that sort of experience unless I have a partner. No, it's just like cuddles. You don't
Expand your humanity.
exactly be close to more people because you don't have to be in a romantic relationship in order to be close to somebody
Right.
and have an orgasmic experience. It's not sexual. Awesome. Yeah. See, yeah. Do you see what I mean? No, I think you'll feel, because people need to sometimes hear at least what to look for or just expand their idea of, like, oh, you mean the heart chakra is this big? Oh, you mean I can have a genital orgasm? I can have a heart orgasm? I can have a crown chakra orgasm? Well, we haven't even gone in and played the crown chakra, the crown book. The crown chakra. I do need to eat. I haven't had a meal yet, so I'm gonna make myself an egg sandwich. I'm glad that you got to have that.
Yeah.
Was it good? Did you like it?
Yeah, I love it.
It was good. And it wasn't really enough for 3 people. It's just one of those, Yeah. Anyway, so you want anything
Yeah.
before I go, or you want to come in and lay on the raft?
Lay on the raft.
That's what we're calling it now. The cuddle raft. Here, why don't you I'll put that stuff on my tray.